I think the amazing thing is about being a black woman in South Africa now, having been alive in the times when things were really difficult and we didn't have stuff. That's what makes it so amazing, is because I've lived through the part where there were no opportunities and there wasn't any stuff, and there wasn't anything good that was going to be going for me, or no hope, to where we are now, where I can do what I want, I can be what I want. It's basically up to me, not up to someone else to say, yes, you can do this or you're allowed to do that.
I think I've always been the same, and that is to make sure that I'm independent and remain independent so that I can look after myself.
Because men themselves are going through issues. We always talk about what are women going through, but what are men going through? Because suddenly they've grown up.
I don't think South Africa was prepared for the black male who's as much a part of, let's call it this Western influence culture, as much as he's rooted in his or her so-called traditional culture. And I think it's an interesting time to be one of those creatures.
Balanced out, because we've had the one extreme where it's been all male and all white, and now we've got the other extreme where it's more female and black.
It's more like the whole focus is being shifted to blacks, and in the blacks, there's more emphasis on this empowering women, so much that the whole shift into black is more like a shift only onto women. It's more like most opportunities are for women, and males are more like they're still kind of left behind. They're still kind of secluded.
I think in every situation you just got to adapt to your environment. So whatever the government's doing right now, whatever they're wanting to do, you can't complain. If you want to stay in South Africa, you're enjoying a good life. In terms of standard of living and stuff, it's still cheap and stuff. So if you want to stay here, you just got to adapt to that environment. And
also got quite an influence on the younger males, because they really falling between the cracks. They see that all the movies and the literature and everything says you must be the sensitive soul, but tomorrow morning you must dawn on someone if he takes your samis away from you. Now, how do you balance that? That's not so easy.
I think the older generation, our folks, I think they were like slaves.
Yeah. Well, what's happened is the gender issues have been put on the back burner over the last 10 years because the whole thing of racial numbers has been the focus of a lot of industry, certainly the marketing and advertising industry. And if you have a look at women's rights, they've actually moved backwards over the last 10 years.
Because I had wanted to become a civil engineer, and my father said that's not the line of work for a lady. So I think that has changed greatly, because I have encouraged my kids to choose what they want to do.
I think for a young and average male around South Africa, I don't know, maybe I don't know even if I should be saying this, but I think they are more like being insecure.
But I think there's also a growing sense amongst women that they're taking power and control of themselves, and that the opportunities are out there if they go for them. And it really is taking responsibility for your own life and saying, okay, this is where I want to go, this is how I need to get there, this is what I can contribute, rather than waiting for somebody to come and give it to you. So I'm hoping that is where things will be going in the next 10 years, that there'll be a lot more sense of people, women particularly, getting proactive about contributing and making their own futures for themselves.
Because let's remember that there had been a systematic and structured attempt to undermine black maleness with a particular view to rendering black communities unviable. Those days are gone. And it's exciting to be in a place to be able to at once be an individual, a role model, a shaper of events, rather than just merely being shaped by and reacting to events. And it's an exciting time.
Your life is in your own hands, You can't blame the government, you can't blame different race. There's so many things going on. You can say, yes, but I've been discriminated against in the past and this and that. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. You can change it if you want
to. You're feeling almost schizophrenic, where during the day you're this, and then at night you go home and you're that. And I don't think that's going to go away soon. because our traditions aren't ever going to go away. You know, you're always going to have to slaughter, or, you know, you're going to always have to burn the incense, or, you know, have to burn impepo or whatever. You're always going to have to do that. You know, we're not going to get rid of that. Just because you wear Prada shoes doesn't mean, you know, and live in four-ways, doesn't mean that you don't slaughter, you know.
In fact, I like me as a woman. There are no regrets. I don't say that, okay, I wish that I was a male because of this and so reasons. I like myself, and I thank God that I'm a woman. I'm a woman. I thank God.
And did you ever do cooking?
No. I can give you a cup of tea. Maybe a cup of coffee if you're lucky.
Make your eggs and bacon and
No, wait, no, I can't do that. No, that wasn't my land. I'm lying. I'm a spinner man. No, you'd starve if you relied on me.